What's up, guys? Miles back with another video. As you'll probably be able to tell from the name of the video, we got my wife's bike lowered. She's around like 5'3" or 5'2 and a half, and the normal seat height on the Ninja 400 is 30.9 inches, if I remember correctly. And she has like a 28 and a half inch inseam. So it's kind of low. Obviously, females tend to gravitate towards cruisers just because that seat height is nice and low. So, considering we already had the Ninja 400 and then I bought the 636, this made sense for her to take over and start to ride. And she got used to the height. She was tippy-toeing a little bit, but she got used to the height. But she just lacked that little bit of confidence of the maneuverability of being able to back it out of parking places and, some of that slow speed stuff, or just slow maneuvering stuff. Not even slow speed while your feet are on the pegs, but just maneuvering the bike. So she asked if there was a way to lower it. So we took a look at it, and I found some lowering links. And I don't know if you could see them right there. Those T-Rex links, and I'll try and get a good angle here. There's 5 different cutouts for different heights, each a ½ inch. So that's a max of 2 inches in terms of how much it can be lowered in the rear. And then the shop, they lowered it about, an 1.5 1.25 inches in the bars. So the bike sits very, very low now. You could just see it, even just the back end, how low it sits. And then even the front end too, how close the upper fairing is. How close the upper fairing is to that was weird. How close the upper fairing is to the fender, the front fender, and you just see how close it is. So we got it lowered for her. Got the sliders put on, and it looks good. It looks like a little drag bike, like a little drag 400. It looks good. I like the way it looks, and she's immensely more comfortable on it. A lot more confidence. So much easier to navigate in and out of the garage. All that fun stuff. Excuse me. But with lowering the bike and lowering the geometry, the bike can ride, slightly differently, drastically differently. A lot of things can happen when you manipulate the factory geometry of the bike. Just lowering the rear will make the bike want to stay straighter, create more stability. If you just lower the rear and keep the front up, the bike will just track straighter, not want to lean over as much. If you leave the rear stock height and just lower the front, the bike will, the rake and trail will decrease and it will want to lean more. And it'll feel a little bit more nimble, but that is less stability. Flickability comes from lack of stability. So, we were originally just going to lower the rear, but after I went to the shop and talking to the guys, like that, we should lower the front too. It's gonna ride a bit weird if we don't do those things. So yeah, I'm just gonna throw a leg over it real quick just so you could see how actually low it is. Like, here's the top of my hip, and then here's the seat height. I could literally stand over top the bike without any part of my body touching the seat. And now when I get down in the seat, I can like throw my legs out in front. Oh, you do also have to get an adjustable kickstand or a lower kickstand, because the bike will fall over if you lower the bike and not get a different kickstand. But yeah, you can see the bike is really, really low to the ground now. And it's kind of fun. It kind of feels more like a toy for me now, going from the ZX6R to riding this. But yeah, I was going to run some errands with it and just kind of just test it out and go through how if it feels any different and things like that. So let's get into it. So the first thing I noticed after getting back on the Ninja 400 after being on the 636 is the seating position. The seating position is so comfortable. The weight is on your ass. It's not on your hands at all. I could ride this bike with my back sitting straight up. I do kind of lean into a little bit, but I could ride it with my back sitting straight up if I wanted to. And I'm just really comfortable. The next thing I notice is how light this clutch lever is. it's like I could do it with one finger. The ZX6R has a very, very stiff clutch. So it's built up a lot of forearm strength after all this time of using it. Yeah, the forearm strength is super strong now as a result of just using it on that tight clutch. So the Ninja 400 just feels a little bit more toy-y, a little bit less premium. Still great. I've taken it for a ride the day we got it back from getting lowered, and I had a blast. And this bike is so much fun to just bang gears with. You could really rev it out all the time, and that's awesome. It's probably one of my favorite things about it. But even just how light it feels, you know what I mean? Like this is the bike is just so light. It's so flickable. Those skinny tires, it really makes it really easy to maneuver. It's just a great maneuverable bike. It's a great starter bike. It's a great bike to learn the mechanics, and I'm so grateful. Had I started my biking career buying a 600 class super sport bike, my riding career would be very different than what it looks like now. Probably would have scared the shit out of myself. Probably would have scared myself out of riding, and wouldn't have been able to enjoy the experience like I have been. So again, super grateful for that. Super grateful for that experience, and super grateful for this bike. Now to show you how to stop, you just see how far out my legs are. I almost can like sit like a cruiser. It's so funny, right? I'm just like straight chilling, and it's so awesome. I love it. I'm gonna take it into some twisties just to see how it handles some pace in it. Probably gonna take it on the highway too, just to again see how it feels. But it's getting hot already. It's getting hot here in Florida already. Holy shit. So yeah, I don't think the bike handles any different as a result of being lowered, or doesn't handle drastically differently. It still rides the way I remember it riding. It's just now that the seat height is lower, and I'm sure again some geometries are off. I'm sure I could probably bottom out this fork and maybe hit the fender. I'm not sure how much travel's in there. That's one issue that we can run into. I think you could just run out of suspension when you lower the bike. So you I think you have to stiffen things up, things like that. So yeah, I'm gonna get into more technical riding to see how it handles that. I just passed the cop like an idiot. I always do that on this road, right? I try to hit it a little bit. Hitting it in this bike and hitting it on my bike are two totally different things, though. So it would have. Once you're moving, hitting this, it's kind of hard to speed. I mean, you can speed. It's kind of hard to speed though, but yeah. So I'm getting, at this part of the road, I get a little bit more twisties, as you may be able to tell from some of my other videos. Florida's really, really flat. A lot of straight roads in my town. Not too many twisties, but this road coming up has some decent twisties that I could take at some pace. So that's what we're gonna kind of use to test some of the handling properties or attributes of having it lowered. At no point during this ride have I felt like unstable or anything. Like the bike feels stable, even though the geometry is off. It still feels fine to me. Which is cool. Oh, my foot hit the ground. Oh no, my foot hit the ground. It's the front of my shoe hit the ground. Oh my god. So that's one thing that I totally forgot about that makes complete sense, is these pegs are now lower to the ground. I won't be able to lean as much. My wife doesn't really ride like that anyway, so it's not going to affect her riding, but the way I might ride it, it might affect it. All I had was my foot under the shifter ready to shift. Fun fact, that's why MotoGP has the reversed shifting pattern, so that you don't get your foot caught under the peg while upshifting and accelerating and stuff. It's a little fun fact. Hitting some pace. Hitting some pace, hitting some pace. Yeah, it feels stable. It doesn't feel sketchy at all. Oh. This is fun. Is this a red light? Is this a red light? Oh, that's a green light. Why are you hitting your brakes so heavy? Am I scaring people? Yeah, man, I think it handles the twisties fine. I think it handles just fine. Besides the less suspension travel, the pegs being closer to the ground. I mean, those are sizable downsides if you think about it, especially depending on what kind of riding you're doing. But again, this is for my wife. She doesn't ride too aggressive. We kind of just cruise and keep it chill and just enjoy being on two wheels, and that's kind of how we ride. So this is fine for her. This isn't really, you know, messing up her riding experience, having the pegs lower to the ground and less suspension travel, all that fun stuff. So, you know, should you lower your Ninja 400 or your bike in general? That is a case-by-case question. There is no blanket answer to that question. It is completely dependent on what kind of riding you're going to be doing. If you're not an aggressive rider and you just kind of just putt around town and cruise, then yeah, it's going to be fine. There's going to be no issues with it. You're not going to have the aggressive braking, so you're taking up all that suspension travel. You're not going to get aggressive lean angle, and you're not going to have that aggressive lean angle, so you're going to be dragging pegs or hard parts. Yeah. So if that makes sense for you, then hell yeah, let's do it. Not too sure if I'm going to be making more videos around the, obviously I vlog with my wife, and that'll continue to happen, but I'm just, you know, if you guys want to see more videos on the Ninja 400, if I ever want to learn how to wheelie, it's going to be on this bike. It's definitely not going to be on my ZX6R. However, lowering the bike, I think, is going to affect my ability to wheelie this, so we shall see. But yeah, if you guys want to see more video on the Ninja 400, let me know, drop a comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, y'all.